take notes for y'all taking notes. Whatever your primary revenue source is, whatever it is, you have to commit that you're no longer going to do it. If you're a lawn guy, you're no longer allowed to cut grass. If you're a brick guy, you're no longer allowed to put brick in the ground. If you're a fertilizer guy, you're no longer allowed to run the truck. And I know you're thinking, you're like, how? I said you got to start Monday. Woo! How do I do that Monday? I got clients to service. Yes, you do. You got to make money. But you're going to take that time that you're not cutting grass, you're not putting pavers in the ground. You're going to take that time and you're going to put every flipping piece of effort you had into empowering somebody else to take over that role for you, whatever that is. But then you're like, but what about all the other services? Here's what's cool. Here's a little extra spin-off. And I didn't make a slide for this because I thought I would just explain it. You're not going to be able to sell that much work that quick to keep your one or two crews busy. Like legit, if you go full-time selling, you're going to oversell the crews and you're going to have to buy trucks. And if you don't have good software to let you know if you can afford it, what I'll tell you will implode your business. So you can't do that. So you got to have an 80-20 principle. Remember I said we're going to talk about 80-20? So 80% of the time that you now have open, you are going to work on your business. You're going to sell. You're going to train your guys. You're going to do that. What's going to happen with the other 20%? You're going to still make money. So let me explain to you how I did it at first. I went from being a $13, $14 an hour mowing guy to being a $150 to $200 an hour fert guy. Because I only had about 15 hours a week worth of fertilizer to throw. I didn't have enough work to do that full time. So what you're doing right now in your business, if you have these extra services, y'all just throw it on like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you go do it for a day, then you jump back on your mower and you go mow. So you're no longer allowed to do whatever your primary revenue source is. If you're wondering, you're scratching your head, how do I know what's a primary revenue source in my business? What does that look like? If there is 30 to 35 hours of something per week that you do, that is a primary revenue source. If you only do it 10, 15, 20 hours a week, it's a secondary revenue source. So congratulations, you just promoted yourself to no longer have to do the 30 to 35 hour business anymore. Now, fertilizer, 125, 150 bucks an hour, 200 bucks an hour. And I also did our irrigation service, because the cool thing about irrigation service, I only had like a few clients to do. So it went from being Sam valuing myself at about 150 bucks a day to actually doing a couple grand a day, which wasn't half bad because I wasn't paying anybody to do that job anymore. When it got up to being about 15 hours per thing, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it again. I don't have enough time to sell. I don't have enough time to train. I said, I'm gonna hire a guy and he's gonna be a split fertilizer and irrigation guy. Crazy hybrid role. Who would have thought? Just because don't overthink it. If somebody can do something half of the week, then do something the other half of the week, make that a primary job. So whatever it is, this is your commitment.